Hello, and today my topic is going to be about childhood obesity. So, childhood obesity is something that's been a problem in our country for a long time, but it has definitely increased within the last 20 years. 32% of children and teens ages 2 to 19 are currently obese, and 70% of obese children ages 5 to 17 already have one cardiovascular disease. Now, in addition to cardiovascular disease, other diseases that obese children are prone to would be cancer, heart disease, arthritis, degenerative diseases, and osteoporosis, and diabetes. In 1994, type 2 diabetes made up 16% of all of the diabetes cases. Now, if childhood obesity is left untreated, it can progress into adulthood. And even worse than that, it can shorten the lifespan. So something definitely needs to be done about it. So there are two main factors that cause obesity in children and teenagers. And these are a lack of physical activity and poor nutrition. So one reason why children are less active today is because of electronics. This is probably the number one reason why children are not as active as they used to be. So years ago in free time, children would like to go outside and play with their friends, but nowadays they're in the house on their electronics, and this makes them more sedentary, which makes them more prone to weight gain. Another reason is that a lot of children don't have safe neighborhoods, so they can't always go outside and play as they would like to because the neighborhoods aren't safe. Also, PE is currently being removed from a lot of schools because the schools want to cut back on money. And this isn't good because the children are not getting their physical education that they need in school. And sometimes, even when PE still is in schools, a lot of children don't want to participate in it. So, the second reason is poor nutrition. This is the second main reason why children are obese. So, when children turn on TV, there's a lot of ads, and these advertisements don't advertise healthy foods. And so, this makes kids want to eat bad foods because they think that everybody's doing it. Also, unhealthy food is cheaper and it's quicker to access. So when families are busy, they turn to fast food because it's often quicker than preparing a home cooked meal. Another reason for poor nutrition is that the portion sizes are very large these days. So when you go to McDonald's or any fast food place, you'll notice that the portions are very large. So kids think that they have to eat everything that is in front of them. And one other big reason that children tend to be overweight is because of emotional eating. So, a lot of times when children are bored, angry, sad, stressed, they'll overeat because it's comforting to them. And families these days often don't have very good schedules. So, rather than having set meal times, they'll just kind of eat whenever they want. And then this sometimes can lead to overeating because if children skip meals, they'll overeat at their next meal. And then finally, environment plays a role. So when children and teenagers go to birthday parties and any kind of social gathering, there's a lot of food around. Sometimes they're not always hungry, but they take it because they think that they have to, or because they see everybody else eating it. And sometimes the parents tell them that they have to eat everything, and this can make them think that they have to eat everything. And so another reason that children tend to be obese, it's not as common as the other ones, but it is an issue, is due to ethnicity. So typically African American and Hispanic children are more prone to being overweight than other nationalities. And there isn't really any clear reason for this, but this is just what they see. And America is the country that has the highest rates of childhood and adolescent obesity. And children who have obese parents are more likely to become obese than, say, children that have normal sized parents that don't have any weight issues. This is actually a graph of the different nationalities and their likelihood to get obesity. And as you can see, it is highest in Mexican Americans, and then it is the second highest in African Americans, and it is the least in Caucasians. So you can see that on the graph. So what are some ways that childhood obesity can be addressed? Well, luckily, there's many, many ways. So one of the first ones is getting kids to exercise for at least 30 minutes a day. This would really help them to not only manage their weight, but also get out of the house and socialize with other kids so they can maybe make some friends along with that. Second way to help with obesity is to bring the PE back into schools. If PE could be brought back into schools, this would encourage kids to be more physically active, at least during school hours, if nothing else. And third one is to limit screen time on electronics. So children should have set amounts of time that they can spend on their electronics rather than just spending hours sitting in front of the computer or TV or their phone. And this would ensure that they aren't sitting for so long and that they're more active. Children also need to be taught about the benefits of exercise and a healthy diet. So parents are the number one reinforcer in this. So parents can help their kids to eat better. And one way that they can do this is that they can keep healthy snacks on hand in the house. So whenever children are hungry, they can just grab a healthy snack. And they can have snacks like pretzels, yogurt, nuts, fruit, veggies. And also, this would mean switching out sugary beverages for ones that are healthier for you, like water and low-calorie beverages. And another one is that food should be prepared at home. This would cut back on money in the long run, and it would also ensure that the food that they eat is healthier. And children need to be taught how to deal with emotional eating so that whenever they're feeling a certain type of emotion, rather than just going to food, they'll learn to deal with that emotion and maybe talk to somebody rather than always feeling the need to eat. And finally, children should have proper medical care from their physicians. In this way, the physicians can help them to manage obesity that they already have and also prevent obesity from happening in the future. So, in conclusion, childhood obesity is something that is a growing epidemic in our country, and the rates are just dramatically increasing by the day. But luckily, with all of the ways that I mentioned, there are methods to help with it, and children can get help with their obesity so that they don't have to be overweight. And the two main reasons for obesity, again, are the lack of physical activity and the poor nutrition. So once these two things can be addressed, children can be on their way to living happier and healthier lives. Thank you.